Beth Hilton. Recently, I had the pleasure of speaking with David Lanz and vocalist Kristin Amarie about their current series of home concerts that began in 2013 and are continuing into 2014. Both artists are also composers and have beautiful new albums to share, Kristin's Notes from a Journey and David's Movements of the Heart. The most exciting news is this: not only have they been collaborating on new music, but they also share an emerging love story. Let's hear what they have to say.
Search for you in the night. Where must we go to find love? What must we do?
Hi guys, are you there?
Hi, Beth.
Hey, Beth, how you doing?
Good, thank you. And I understand that I'm reaching you in upstate New York. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Wonderful. Well, I know that we are heading into an exciting weekend, which is one of your holiday concerts, and part of that is the house concert that you're doing, and I understand is sold out. So can you tell us a little bit about how those house concerts come together and what it's like to be a part of one of them?
Well, for starters, we decided to call it a home concert.
Mm-hmm.
Many artists do house shows or house concerts, but generally they don't take place in their own homes. A lot of times there'll be fans that open up their homes, or musicians will travel around, but we're doing it in our own home. Actually, Kristin had the idea. We were on vacation visiting her family in Norway, and we escaped for a while. On a nice weekend, we went up to Stockholm, and we were on a very long train ride, and the idea, she just said, why don't we start doing some shows there at the house, because we've got a nice space. So anyway, we hatched the idea this summer, and we've slowly put it out on Facebook, and I've got a pretty large mailing list, and we did a little bit of advertising, and my friend Lydia Sherwood was able to get television coverage and some newspaper coverage. So people are calling us the Sonny and Cher of New Age, So
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. And it started out really, it was just going to be pretty much my show, because I've been doing this for so long.
Mm.
But Kristin and I started working on, first we started just doing a little of her music, mixed it in, but now we're actually writing music, and we're presenting music people have never heard, and it's growing, and it's really beautiful. The two of us really have well, we're in love, and you can tell when we perform music, that vibration and that frequency translates, and people get it. So it's been a love fest.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like a wonderful opportunity for people to, not only meet you and be a part of that, but to hear new music that you're creating together on before it even is recorded. So that's super exciting. Are your fans coming from all over to experience that?
Yes. They're coming from all over. You
Yeah.
go, David. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you
Coming
know,
to see you.
well, they're coming to see me, but then they've been really delighted with Kristin, and they've her new CD, you know, Notes from a Journey, has been selling very well at the home concerts. Because she's, you know, you've heard her sing. She's amazing. She's got a beautiful voice. So yeah, we've got people from. We had a whole family come down from Quebec, and
We had guests from Florida.
yeah, they flew up from
Coming-
Florida.
They're
People
coming from Colorado.
in Ohio and Pennsylvania and Massachusetts, and yeah, so far it's been. I've kind of had that experience because I tour, but I don't tour as much as I used to.
Mhm.
But oftentimes I do get people coming from 4 or 5 different states,
Right.
and it's great because the fans are hardcore, and they're really getting a nice experience because they're in our home. It's very intimate. It's actually the first time that anyone outside of where I've been recording, the piano that I actually use to make my recordings, I've never taken it out on the road with me. So now I'm actually getting to play my own instrument. And that, for me, that's really nice. And it's a great piano. It sounds really good in the house. So you put that together with the beautiful voice of Kristin, and voila, you know.
Well, and people are so excited to see David Lanz in his own home, of course. It's special.
It is.
No, not
Well, so, you know, Kristin, of course, is introducing Notes from a Journey, which I agree is stellar. And I really enjoyed hearing the recent interview with her on OWR because we got to go through each track and learn the story behind each track. And it really is, you know, tying together her life, her music into these beautiful pieces. And of course, with your collaboration there, David. Now, on your end, David, I think, are you sharing a lot of music from Movements of the Heart?
Yes, I am. And the first track on that album is called Love's Return.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, originally the album was going to be called Love's Return, but it morphed at the very end of the production. But that particular song was the first love song written at the time falling in love with Kristin. It was actually one of the seed of it came from one of these workshops we had been kind of participating in. And what has happened since the recording of that album, we've written a lyric to that song, and it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful, beautiful love song now, full bloom, you know, with words, and Kristin is singing it. So that we're planning on recording that hopefully next year, and that'll be our first collaboration, I think, fully collaborative from the ground up.
Oh, so that's special because we yet to record it, but we are performing it at our home concerts and maybe at other concerts too. So
Yeah,
That's how you get the sneak preview.
yes.
Right.
sneak preview, yes.
And for your solstice holiday shows, David, is it mostly music from Joy Noel that you share?
I do. I do a fair amount of that. For me, I've never, you know, in all the years I've been doing.
Oh, terrific. Well, I think it's going to be a wonderful year for Kristin. We've only begun, you know, promoting this album and introducing her to, you know, this broader audience here in the U.S. And I think with her upcoming radio campaign, there will be a lot more happening for her, and people will be excited to hear her music. And you know, David, of course, you keep on bringing the hits, and we appreciate that with you for sure.
Thanks, Beth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, when I first heard Kristin sing, I mean, I fell in love with her voice first, and you know, when we had first met at one of my workshops, it was before she had actually decided that she was going to, you know, write music and be kind of set out on her own path. And I'm just so impressed with the work the work she created with Alex Salzman, her producer. It's just world class, and I'm very excited to know that there's a chance for the greater audience to get a chance to hear Kristin.
Absolutely. And hearing it described as cinematic on the OWR interview is absolutely, spot on. It's just, some of them, I was watching a movie last night and I thought, that sounds like Kristin's track.
Yeah.
And then there's even a certain 007, kind of element to some of the tracks that have more of an electronic,
That's so funny. I met somebody a few weeks back and he said, "Oh, your music needs to be on the next James Bond movie."
There's something edgy there, which I think is a wonderful compliment to your beautiful voice. It makes it so much more modern in presentation.
Yeah, my music is definitely on the album very much me. It's my life, it's me. And it's something that David taught me. If you want to, you got to be unique. There's so many good musicians out there. So the only way to stand out is to be unique. And how can you be unique? You got to be yourself. So I decided to go with that, and that's how I started making my songs that I put together for this album.
Right. Well, everyone, that I hear, it seems better than the last. So, it's so interesting. And I just recently came across and made contact with a gentleman who runs a magazine for Scandinavian folk music. So, wow. Well, that's interesting. And I'm hoping that, one or two of your tracks here will appeal and, ring a bell with him. And
yeah, maybe my music will go back to my origins, back to Norway.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's such a wide world these days. Very exciting, and exciting to have your contributions to it.
Yeah, true. No, I'm delighted for all the beautiful words I receive from people through mail and Facebook, and I'm just delighted. I'm so happy that I've created something that pleases people, that they like.
Yeah. Is there any particular track that seems to be emerging as a favorite?
Right now, it's probably the first one I wrote, which is the first track on the album. But the album is still so fresh. It was just released in October, so I don't really know yet what it will end up being. But right now, it's First Light, which is the first track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. And Prayers also is, what I hear as being very popular. And I really like The Winter in Shimla now that I know the story about it.
Yes.
Indian influence in the mountains. I have quite a few Indian friends and clients. And so now that has kind of emerged as one of my favorites.
Oh, that's great to hear. Oh, I love Indian. My children grew up there. So I had to include something Indian on my album, which was supposed to be notes from my life's journey. So yeah, it's definitely a bit more upbeat, that track.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for the time today. Is there anything else that you wanted to add for your friends, fans, and general population?
2014, and see if we can get along.
You know what? Well said. From your lips to God's ears.
Yeah. Oh, and Kristin.
What must we do?